Going back to the origin of me and McGee, it all starts around a little thing known as the pecan. Meg's here to tell us about the pros and cons and how to use this wonderful little fall delicacy.
I'm so excited to talk to you guys about pecans because it's that time of year where this gets used a lot in food and dishes. And today we're going to talk about the pros and the cons about using pecans. So one thing about pecans is that it has a good source of fatty acids. The problem though is that it's a little bit lower in the omega-3s than the omega-6. And we've talked about that before. And we want to make sure that we have a good balance. But there's some other goodness in here that's going to help balance that out. The other thing is that there's 17 different vitamins and minerals in pecans. It's really high in magnesium, and that's another one that we've talked about. You know, our body needs magnesium to do over 300 different body functions. It's really high in copper, which is going to help with breaking down proteins and amino acids. And it's really high in tocopherols, and that is the lipid form of vitamin E. There's 4 different types. You have alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. What's really unique about pecans is that it's loaded in gamma tocopherols. Those are the ones that are super about antioxidants. So these are really, really high in antioxidants. So it's going to help break down all of that stress and the toxins in our body. The other is that it helps also, gamma tocopherols help with our detoxification processes. So that's why this is actually, even though it's high in omega-6, really listed as anti-inflammatory because of it being so high in the antioxidants. The other things is that it has what we call phytic acid, and phytic acid is something that kind of competes with absorption of vitamins and minerals, especially like iron, magnesium, zinc. And so you just want to watch out and talk with your dietitian or your healthcare team to make sure that you have a good balance of foods that are high and low in phytic acid. The other thing about pecans is that it has phytosterols in there. And what phytosterols is it's a compound that's similar in structure to what cholesterol is in the human body. So when you have something with phytosterols, when you take it in and you eat something with that, it's going to compete to bind like cholesterol does. So when you have this, you're actually going to not get as much cholesterol. And you're thinking, well, Meg, that sounds really good. That does, but what they found is that it actually helps build up some plaque in the arteries if you have so much of this. And so you really want to have another talk with your dietitian or your healthcare team to make sure that you get a good balance of foods that don't really compete with that cholesterol and don't build up your, that plaque in your arteries. It's really good to have a good balance and mix up different nuts. That way you can get all of the good benefits from this, and you're not going to get too much of the properties that maybe aren't as healthy, and you get the good benefits of the other nuts. So it's really good to have a good mix of like walnuts, almonds, pecans. So today what we're going to do is we're going to use pecans and make a pecan pesto. And this is something that's really super easy. So we're going to throw in some pecans. We're going to use a lot of basil. And you can get basil here, which is awesome. So I'm just going to take like a handful of basil, fresh basil, throw that in there. You're going to get all the properties of basil. We're going to throw in 1 clove of garlic. And then pesto usually has Parmesan cheese. But I like to throw in nutritional yeast sometimes just because it's a good source of protein. And this is a dairy-free option. So for those that are vegan, it has that nutty flavor just like Parmesan cheese, but you're just not getting that dairy. So we'll put that in there. We'll start to process this and slowly add the olive oil to make a good paste. So you can see that it's starting to come together. What I like about using with a food processor is it slowly adds that olive oil. And so it really starts to make this really thick, creamy sauce. And that's what you're looking for. You're wanting it to be a little bit of a liquid, not too chunky, and it has this really good creaminess to it. So you can see right there, that's what we're going for. And this sauce is great on pasta. It's great as a marinade. You can throw this in with a little bit of olive oil and you have a really good salad dressing. Throw it on top of vegetables when you're cooking them just to flavor those up. It's got a strong, strong flavor. But what I really like to do is to add a little bit to spaghetti squash. Just throw a little bit in there. And what's neat about spaghetti squash, this is spaghetti squash that I just roasted in the oven, put on 425 for about 20 minutes. When you start to pull this, you see that the squash actually makes noodles. So you have a handheld bowl of pasta but it's really squash, so you're getting those properties of fiber and vitamins and minerals from the spaghetti squash, but you're getting that yummy flavor from the pesto, all in this yummy little handheld dish. So this is a great way to use those pecans this time of year that's not in a pie form and get those really good benefits from a pecan. And I hope you guys try this out and enjoy.
Meg passed off her spaghetti squash boat. Really love the simplicity and the deliciousness in the recipes that she does, not to mention the amazing information that she provides. Want to thank everybody for watching. Thank Meg for being a great part of what we are doing, and have a great day.